our nation's capital, a very busy place over the course of the last week. Tonight, the focus will change inside the Verizon Center. Back to college basketball. And this evening in Big East play, big ball game as the number 16 Creighton Bluejays come in to take on the Georgetown Hoyas. Take a look at the Big East Conference standings, and well, the balance kind of tipped again last night with Marquette's upset over Villanova. Right now, Creighton a half game behind Butler for the number 2 overall spot. We got ourselves a race down the stretch among the teams near the top. Hi, everyone, alongside Donnie Marshall, Scott Graham, glad to be here with you. And after that upset last night, I'm sure Georgetown is looking at this as an opportunity tonight.
A little chink in the Nova armor. Marquette has opened a lot of eyes. I'm sure Georgetown understands. No more Watson for Creighton. Maybe this is one we can get. Creighton has not won in this building since they've been in the Big East. So this is a big game for them, regardless of their record. Creighton on the other side, they're trying to figure it out. Life after Mo. What will they do? Who will step up to try to finally win on the road here in D.C.?
Mo is in the building tonight, but don't want to excite the Creighton fans. He still is on crutches. Isaiah Zierden takes his spot once again. He came up with 15 points in relief in his first start for him. On the other side, Jonathan Mulmore coming off an 8-point and 8-assist effort last time out. Gets the start for the Georgetown Hoyas in the backcourt with Rodney Pryor and L.J. Peak. Well, the Hoyas, who have never lost to the Bluejays here at Creighton, playing in the Big East. It's 3 times now that Creighton has come in and left without a win, and they're going to be leaning on their freshman, Justin Patton. It's
going to be interesting to see how he's going to be put into sets on the offensive end. Defensively, you don't worry about him without Mo Watson Jr. because you know his length is going to disrupt as much as it always has all season long.
We are ready to go, and you note that Hoyas breaking with tradition, wearing the alternate white uniforms. Haven't done that a whole lot over the years, ever since John Thompson first changed things back in the early 1980s to the home grays. It became their signature.
1 and 6 will make you do that, Scott.
Yeah. We are underway. Blue Jays coming off their own loss to Marquette, in which they put up 94 points in loss. You see Pat Driscoll, John Gaffney, and Ollie Ritecki, veteran officiating crew here tonight. Pat working his way inside. Pretty move, and the left-handed shot gets the scoring started.
Right there is one of a few things that makes him so special. His patience, team gets out of the way, and he finishes with the left hand. A lot of guys want to turn into that right side. Guys can block that shot.
L.J. Peak, a good look inside, but the pass was behind Bradley Hayes, and now in transition. All alone inside is Patton, unaccounted for. He's got 4.
And if there's one guy you have to find, it has to be Patton, and I think it's easy to find him. You're always taught defend from inside to out. Find the guy in the paint, and then you run to guys on the perimeter.
Stepping in one is Derrickson, and a nice touch from the outside for a guy who's 6'7", 250.
Just can't be fool's gold for Georgetown, though. Meaning, yeah, you made the first one, but if you settle for those, Creighton will be happy, and it's tough to play games like that consistently, trying to beat a good defensive team over the top.
The other thing you look at with Creighton and the way they like to play it is Georgetown want to take a little of the air out of the ball tonight. It's not going to be their style of play in most circumstances. I don't know that you want to run with this team.
It will be interesting to see how their pace is dictated now that Maurice Watson Jr. is out of the game. And there's another three-pointer that you can probably live without.
So Patton, the 7-footer from 19, and it's a brick.
And I don't like it. You make 2 layups down low, they can't stop you. And then you kind of go one-on-one.
Derrickson has got good percentage from beyond the arc with the miss, but the ball last touch Patton's hand, and the Hoyas are going to get it back. There he is, guy who is the linchpin for this team, out for the season with a torn left ACL. Heart and soul with his team, and when you put the 5 that they had on the floor together, with him running the point specifically for this squad, they were very hard to beat.
Yeah, with all due respect to the rest of the teams in the Big East, I really believe they had the best starting 5 with him in there.
And a Georgetown turnover. Greg McDermott, well, his 7th season as the head coach. 159 wins over the course of those 7 years.
The thing I love most about him is soon as the ball comes in, you hear him say, go, 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 go. That's what every player wants to play. I mean, that's the game we want to play. Every guy. And Foster knocking a jump shot down there because of that. Go, go, don't wait. Pace.
Marcus Foster is the leading scorer for Creighton at 18.7 coming in. Boys a little more traditional now in how they're moving it around. And Govan, little jump hook.
That's a part of the game that when you talk to JT3, and I got a chance to talk to Pops, John Thompson II, before the game, they said we need to attack the inside. We need to have a presence. Well, that's how you do it right there, but you have to throw the ball in there to find a presence.
And now you're going to travel on the crossover move by Foster down in the corner. John Thompson III, the 2007 Final Four. And as recently as 2 seasons ago, they were 22-11 with an NCAA trip. Left out of the postseason last year, and right now, they've got some work to do over the course of the month of February to get there as Pete finds his way inside.
Well, that has to be the guy. He has to be your alpha male on the offensive end.
Back the other way, an answer right back for Marcus Foster.
Yeah, Marcus Foster, he is and I mean this in the nicest way, a narcissistic scorer. That's the one thing he can do, and he does very, very well and wants to do, is score the basketball.
By the way, it's a good thing that we've got the scoreboard on the screen.
Yeah.
Because there's no score in this game, according to the arena. Govan, shot tickles the rim and falls through. And Georgetown back up by a point.
Sometimes that's, and I've been in those games where, even as a kid, where you can't see the score, you just play basketball. Don't worry about the score.
Most of the time when I was on a team, it was because we were so far behind, I didn't worry about the score. Just over 4 minutes in, and it's been back and forth action. Please
trust us.
Yeah, you got to trust us on this one. It has been an entertaining first 4+ minutes here in D.C. Game, Georgetown on top early over number 16 Creighton, and you know the Bluejays trying to figure out a way to push the pace.
You heard Greg McDermott there say go, 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 go. Marcus Foster likes it, and then here, this is what you need if you don't have Mo Watson. Throw the ball ahead. You don't have your guy handling it, another Foster basket, but keep Georgetown on their heels. You mentioned it earlier, the pace is going to be very important. Mo Watson did it with his dribble. These guys, Mitz, they have to do it with the pass. Kick it ahead, let your studs go to work.
Well, you take a look right there. Creighton has been known as a team that's been very good in Omaha, but historically maybe not as good. They were 4-9 on the road last year. They are perfect so far this year, including 5-0 in true road games. Here's Govan. And off the miss. Another opportunity to get out and run. It's a good conversion back to defense for the Hoyas. In the ball game now, Zach Hansen for the first time since November 21st for Creighton. And down on the post, off the spin move. That would have been perfect if he had actually gotten it to go on his first shot.
Terrific athlete, too. It's awesome that his teammates look for him. Probably won't play a ton of minutes, so you got to get him involved as soon as you can.
He had a left ankle tendon and ligament tear. For a while, there were people speculating if he'd be back at all this year. Then it was 8 to 12 weeks. Then we heard maybe the early part of February. There he is out on the floor tonight.
So special. I tore the 3 outside ligaments in my left ankle when I was in high school. I'm telling you, I was not even thinking about 2 months later. And, you know, that's 17, 18 years old. So it's special what he did. Obviously, technology, their medical staff has done a great job, but you have to have patience as a player. Great to see that pay off and him back on the floor.
In fact, when you did it was before they had x-ray machines, right?
That's right.
Big side rebound for Kyrie Thomas, and again, pushing the pace.
I had a cast up to my hip.
Did you really?
For my, but
you know, you couldn't, no, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. You had to.
That's all that matters.
Hansen. Great help defense for the Hoyas. They collapsed in on him.
I think it's important to mention that Hansen hasn't played. There's nothing like game shape. You can't mimic that in practice. So he's going to be winded out there no matter what kind of shape he's in. hasn't been in the game since November 21.
Long range once again, and it won't fall for Derrickson. No waiting. And Kyrie Thomas can't find the range from three-point. By the way, that guy with the ball right now, Pryor, is yet to take a shot. That said, how many times do you think it's been 6 minutes this year and Pryor hasn't taken a shot?
A couple issues here, Scott. One, Derrickson makes a three to start the game. We talked about fool's goal. Pryor hasn't touched the ball to score until that last trip. So Pryor's thinking, I got to get a touch. I got to get a shot up there. 1 for 7 from three. That is the fool's goal I'm talking about. And this Georgetown team is too big. They're too athletic to settle for three-pointers. And Creighton is too good of a defensive team for you to think, oh, we're going to get these shots all night long.
Hoyas are just 33% on the year from three-point range. It's not something they've had great success with anywhere. From the corner, on the fadeaway, Zierden can't find the range.
Pretty good rotation there for Georgetown. They're doubling Davion Mintz. They know he's young, trying to run the point guard spot, but recovering to open guys was impressive on that trip.
There's Pryor inside the arc, and he got it from 18 feet away for his first two of the ball game.
Better look for him. One dribble, pull up, not settling for that three-pointer. He'll get those all night long.
Zierden wide open with his feet square. And these teams are now combined 1 for 12 from beyond the arc, but a gal can't handle the rebound.
I just think it's a better touch. Kamal Peak finds him. One dribble. Now Zierden has to decide, is he going to dribble all the way or pull up, and can't recover quickly.
There's some guys who are just scorers, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I mean, he is a pure scorer.
Who wouldn't want to be called a scorer?
Well, there's scorers and there's chuckers and there's guys, never get the ball back, that kind of thing. That's not what I'm talking about.
You can call me a scorer any day of the week.
No, I couldn't. Tip follow won't go, and an offensive rebound for Hayes. A reset shot clock for Georgetown. A gal going to work on the 7-footer, and he's fouled. Dustin Patton will get called for his first. Marcus Foster's also a scorer. Take a look at the 18.7. Most by a newcomer in Creighton in 49 years.
And you really have two different scorers there, even though their points are similar. Pryor is a guy who they need. He has to score in bunches because they just don't have the consistency offensively. On the other side, Foster, his points are in the system. They are a product of a great system that Creighton has under McDermott.
That was a beautiful play by Patton coming over to challenge Pryor on that move down the lane.
Well, that part of his game won't be affected without Maurice Watson Jr. He can continue to flourish down low, using the length and changing shots, even if he's not getting blocks.
Well, the interesting part is, in talking with Greg McDermott, what that does in a lot of ways, what they've lost when they don't have Watson's defense out there, his ability to fight through screens, his ability to be able to double down on the post like a veteran and a guy who knows that kind of thing. If you're putting a young player in that position, it's not as easy for them to do.
And I think what's important for this team right now, especially Creighton, you're 4 minutes now without a bucket. You talk about putting guys in their right spots without Maurice Watson Jr. We're going to say that a lot the rest of the season. Who can be the guy to get them a bucket, if not score?
Wasn't Mintz on that occasion. They're now 0 for their last 8. Peak firing ahead. That's a nice catch by Govan, and better block from behind as Hegner swats it over the end line. That was a tough catch.
That's just putting your big man in a bad spot. You have to make sure, if that's not an alley-oop for a dunk, that you let him get his feet set. It's a great catch. It shows a little bit of Govan's athleticism. But you're worried about Patton, and Hegner comes over the back. That's just great defensive help, but it's just the awareness. You understand there's a big guy who can block my shot in front of me. You forget what's going on behind you.
LJ Peak will take a seat. Mosley comes into the ball game. There's Pryor again, that same spot, but this one's no good. And Davion Mintz down with the rebound, pushing the pace again. That's going to be a blocking foul, and it's going to be on Mosley. Now, last time we broke, it was 9-8. We've seen 2 points since our last time out. see if we can free up the offense when we get back. One of the great rivalry games in college basketball tips off tonight on FS1. Superstars colliding in the Pac-12. High-flying Lonzo Ball and number 8 UCLA battle Elijah Stewart. The crosstown rival USC. Pac-12 basketball action tonight at 11 Eastern on FS1. Speaking of Lonzo Ball,
tell you what, we talk about how good he is offensively, what he does with his passing. I think the most important part of his game is that he has put guys for Steve Alford's team in the right positions. Bryce Alford having a career year as a senior. I mean, that's just a tough. You can talk about guys who make their teammates better. I mean, Josh Hart, obviously, he's my pick for player of the year. Alonzo Ball is a special guy. You only see once every 5-10 years at that point guard position. So special.
So polished, so aware of the floor.
And so even keel.
Yep.
For a young guy.
Yep.
You don't know, he doesn't get emotional. If you haven't seen him play yet, it really is one of those, grab some popcorn and watch it. It's a show. It is fun to watch.
These two teams started out 8 for 12. They're a combined 1 for their last 17 from the floor. Lid on the bucket. Hagner trying to get it off, but that three-pointer no good. And the trend continues.
I hate to keep harping on it, but, you know, Patton, first couple touches were down low layups. He hasn't really touched the ball down there since then. And someone out there, Davion Mintz is going to have to say, guys, let's throw the ball inside.
Pryor stepped around the screen, got rid of it late, and a 19-footer is good for Govan.
That's an analytics nightmare right there. About a half an inch inside the three-point line. Long twos.
And Govan called for the push-off foul as he tried to stop the entry pass at the other end.
And I think this part of the game, analytics has actually hurt it. You know, analytics has told us threes or layups is what you want. That's why we talk about a lost art. Long twos. It's nice to see guys making them.
Mini 6-0 run for Georgetown, and there's the answer, what you were talking about inside for Patton.
I have to be honest, this isn't just an old guy talking. It really is an easy game. Just us as players, we make it difficult. And you throw the ball inside to the best big in the conference.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes it rains. That's baseball. Heat cutting in, and Thomas gets it flicked over the end line. But going back to the other end, this is what you were talking about.
I should be clear. It's easy for me. I'm not sure if it's easy for you, but it's an easy game. Look, you throw the ball inside to your big guy, let him go to work.
Well, you're 7 feet tall and you get position inside. Yeah, the game looks pretty easy. You're 5'10" and you're chucking it from 23. It's not that easy. That would have been a shot clock violation, but Creighton not waiting for it. That's a nice defensive play by Mosley.
Well, Zier didn't draw any defense. He kind of just threw it up there and turned it into a jumping game. You can't do that for your big. Draw a defense first and then throw it up.
That's a nice anticipation. Everything but the steal for Kyrie Thomas. A gal. Pretty spin move on the baseline. And once again, everything but the bucket. Thomas, that's blocked away by Govan. All the end-to-end action you want, just no baskets.
Terrific D there by Patton, straight up. Make the offensive guy go off balance because he sees you there.
6 minutes ago, it was 9-8. On the turnaround. That won't go.
Look, when you shoot 71% on the season from the field, which is what Patton does, I don't want to see a tough 9 to 10 footer along that baseline. Put it down a couple times, back up, shoot that nice jump hook.
Third in the nation in field goal percentage. He's 3 for 5 here tonight. Coming up on 9 minutes left to go. A little backdoor cut. And a mismatch down low, but once again, a gal can't pay it off. That's Huff. Pulling up from 12 and missing everything. Wow. Partner, I'm not not going to lie, this is ugly right now.
I hate to say it, this reminds me of those old Georgetown battles I used to have when I went to UConn and we'd come into this building. Just ugly.
You didn't get a whole lot of 3 for 27 for 2 teams, though, did you?
No, but you knew that it was going to be a grind. You know it wasn't going to be the prettiest basketball, and the team that could be the most mentally tough would be the team that would win in the end, and I think that's what we're headed towards. Can't get frustrated, have to believe in your stuff, stay with the system.
And by the way, although they have not gotten a whole lot done offensively, this is Georgetown would love to have Creighton play this kind of game.
You talk about a team that averages in the mid to upper 80s in Creighton. This is a great pace if you're Georgetown. You don't mind this.
Georgetown averages 76 points a game, Creighton 87. Not looking anything like that right now. Here's Peak with the shot clock winding down. Won't go. Hayes can't get the tip follow to go. These teams are a combined 3 for their last 30 from the floor. Throwaway along the inside, and Hayes is going to get caught for the foul. That's his second.
Khyri Thomas has to make it easier for Hansen. You're throwing the ball behind him. Remember, he's still trying to work his way back into playing shape, Hansen. Give him a pass that he can do something with, not behind him. Help your teammate out a little bit.
Got to correct myself. That was Hayes' first foul. Haven't been a whole lot of whistles in this game.
That's what you missed, too, the ball movement. The sides off the dribble. Creighton is not swinging that ball side to side. Georgetown doing a great job of staying in front of guys.
But Pryor is called for the block down low. And a trip to the free throw line when we come back. We'll see if it's any easier from 15 feet. 13-10, Georgetown on top of number 16, Creighton, just over 12 minutes into this ball game here in D.C. Creighton played on Saturday, and it was the first time back at home for Mo Watson. And truly a memorable moment as he came out onto the floor. It was incredibly emotional, and the crowd responded in a beautiful way. Long standing ovation.
I tell you, you know, we're supposed to see games, call games, unbiased. I mean, I teared up when I saw that, watching from home. I mean, that was because I understand the process, you know, of a player, and you call games, so you see how hard guys work, and to know where he's come from and how far he's come in such a short time at Creighton. And
this was the last year. This was the one, and he got himself into the spot that was the perfect spot where he just made everybody better, and they were on a high, and it just all stopped. That's the first free throw attempt of the game, by the way, is Watson now is a guy who, and he will chat.
Oh, yeah, that's him right there. It's nice to see the injury hasn't slowed his tongue down at all.
Greg McDermott said they had a huddle the other night, and things were kind of quiet in the huddle. He says it's the first time all year, because normally that guy, what he's doing right there, he's doing in a huddle at a timeout. Peak leaving it behind, and just a good job of staying solid defensively by Creighton. Nothing fancy, just solid. Shot clock down to 5. Peak's got to let it go. And a rebound for Khyri Thomas. He had a foul call. I don't think Isaiah Zierden agreed.
Yeah, that was a late call as well, but a really good job. Those are what kill you on the road. Zierden tried to get away with a little cute one.
That's his first, third team foul. Neither team even close to shooting a 1-on-1 at this point. Erickson again hit his first 3, but since that time, there's been nothing happening from beyond the arc. Cole Hopp nails the 3 from right in front of the Georgetown bench.
We talk about who's going to step in. Davion Mintz as a point guard. Foster, everyone is going to have to step up. You know, Thomas, Hopp, you all have to do something a little bit better than what you did before. It's not just on one guy, and Huff, to me, is that guy who can take on a heavier load.
Peak answers back, and we got back-to-back threes. That brings a 7-0 run for Creighton. Can't keep track of all the points at this point.
It's making me dizzy.
You know the shots are going to fall eventually. Foster can't get that one to go, and Pryor uncontested for the rebound. Look out. And just out of the reach of L.J. Peak.
See, I don't mind it. I thought it was a pretty good pass. And Peak just couldn't handle it. Sometimes you get up there, you start to think about how I'm going to finish this before you think of, let me catch it first.
Oh, a shot at trying to grab back some momentum. That slips right through the fingers of the Hoyas. It's been that way really in the first half on both sides. Here's steal. It is a steal. Peak and Pryor running the break. How about that? Oh, my!
Tough one on Foster. I thought he tried to get out of the way. I don't think he was trying to foul, but this is great defense again, consistently in this first half. We call it bad scoring. I think it's pretty darn good defense by Georgetown. Read the passing lanes. Maybe got a hand in there, Foster. If that's the case, usually scorers just back out of the way, but I think they got that left hand on him, and it's a scorer versus a scorer. If you're the scorer on defense, I think I'm winning this battle.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the guy's going to hit a shot while he's actually backwards and flipping it back over his head like that,
yeah,
so be it.
Yeah.
Erickson tapping that rebound back outside, and now Georgetown with a three-point lead and the ball.
You see the leash that Coach Matt gives to Foster. He's got to be responsible, though. One-on-one.
Pryor can't get that contested shot to go, but Govan there to clean it up.
Georgetown's done a great job of attacking the rim. They've missed a lot of bunnies, a lot of close layups. And they're sticking their nose in there, trying to control that offensive glass at home. So important.
Trying to turn it up a little bit with some trapping pressure. Foster off the crossover, got it.
Yeah, that's why you kind of have to let him play that, but that's a better shot than dribbling into two trees and trying to lay it up, getting it deflected. One dribble pull up, you stop on a dime.
Under 5 to play in the first half. Been tight throughout. Pryor wide open. You just cannot leave him with his feet set, catching and shooting.
Georgetown, in my opinion, is playing with much more passion, maybe coming into this game thinking, hey, this is a chance for us to get a W at home against a really good Creighton team, and they're playing like it.
That foul on Mulmore down low as he was trying to deny the pass to Patton. It was not a shooting foul.
Their body language is much better. They're communicating. We've seen them play multiple times already this season live, and they just look to be more energized. I don't know if that's the white uniforms, if that's JT3 coming to our table to talk to us before the game. Usually we meet with him back in the hallway.
He said, I got to switch it up, he said.
Got to change it up. Whatever it is, you can definitely see it so far in this first half.
Well, they're playing with an energy, there's no doubt about it. A couple more shots fall, and Georgetown's lead would be bigger than the 6 it is right now. Foster got caught in midair. Once again, the Hoyas challenging everything. Little roll down the lane, and Patton has a chance at a three-point play. Great body control by the 7-footer.
You got to give Davion Mintz a lot of credit. Composure. Here lets the play develop. Throws a nice pass. Let that ball come back up to your 7-footer, and terrific focus on the finish for Pat.
Already been the freshman of the week in the Big East 3 times this year. Missing on the free throw. He's only a 48% foul shooter. And it'll go back the other way in a 4-point ball game. Hoyas at 10-10, just 1-6 in Big East play. They want to play beyond Madison Square Garden. They've got work to do. Pryor. Oh! And a foul call on Patton, who thought he perhaps had blocked the dunk clean.
Well, Pryor's aggressive. We understand that. You go hard, you're going to get a foul call. regardless of what the defense thinks, and shows you a score right here. The acrobatic finish trying to get the end one, and then here where he's most comfortable from behind the arc. Hoyas up at home.
Low scoring with under 4 left to play here in this first half. Georgetown battling the number 16 team in the country, and Justin Patton, a guy who can defend the rim. Rodney Pryor was going to test that.
And I think when you look at the ball and you look at the hands, I thought he got the ball first. Unless the official called a foul on the body, that looks pretty darn good. And Coach McDermott had something to say about that. But as a freshman, those are plays that you have to continue to contest, and you have to earn that respect. When officials know, hey, he's a legitimate shot blocker, he's not just out there trying to foul guys, you'll get those calls to go the other way.
It's pretty athletic play. Really on both sides.
Yeah. Well, that's a dream of anyone not 7 foot tall to try to dunk on a 7-footer. Everyone wants to try.
Honestly, I would be fine dunking on a 5-footer. It would be great.
No, I'm talking about a player, not the hoop.
Easy.
Not a 5-foot hoop. Wow. Stay with me.
Why? With you right now. Where's it going? Off the steal. Little 2-on-1. That'll work. No 7-footer in the way that time.
Again, Georgetown showing us this first half, their offense is set up by their defense.
The ball, they say, is off Mulmore. John Thompson III believes that it last touched Mintz's chest.
This is what Georgetown basketball is supposed to be about. You know, maybe they gum you up defensively, you can't score, but they create their offense with their D, and that's just great unselfishness. Peak to Pryor.
He's got 10 points, does Pryor. And Peak, the guy's an assist man as well as a scorer. He's got a complete game. All does stay Creighton's way. No change in the shot clock. Patton going to work. Off the spin, the up and under. That was 3 moves for 1 basket. Drop, step, spin, up and under.
Just the confidence that Patton has to say, you know what? I know I'm 8 feet from the basket. I'm going to turn this into a post move and finish.
He's got 10 and his team back within 5. In a lot of ways, the freshman is keeping his team in this game right now. Pryor, there's another one. And he's feeling it now.
It's tough. It's great elevation on his jump shot once he clears a little space down low.
Davion Mintz coming off a 17-point effort in his first extended time last Saturday.
That's a part of the balance for him. When do you find guys? When do you attack? A couple of plays down before that. Could have been a turnover. Should have shot it maybe.
And now Peak a chance at a 3-point play. Ball's finally starting to find the bottom of the net.
I'll tell you, my favorite part of this play, it has little to do with this move right here going left. It was the grimace. It was the eyebrows in anger. I mean, you don't see a lot of that from Georgetown players this season, that emotion on their faces. This is the guy right here who they've been leaning on to kind of be their alpha male, to be that guy who grabs your jersey and says, come on, let's play D. So I like to see that little grimace on Peak's face.
They've got themselves a 9-point edge right now. Biggest of the first half. Patton. Govan thought he got all ball. The official disagrees.
That's the other part of Patton's game. Doesn't need to shoot jump shots. We've seen that already a couple times. Not one of his stronger suits, but putting the ball on the floor and challenging, you know, 8, 10, 15 feet from the basket.
It's a second on Govan. As we said before, Patton less than 50% from the free throw line.
And that just takes work. That's all that is. Not enough time at the line. Talked to him before the game a little bit. He's not a guy that has large hands to affect that shot coming off. It's just a matter of working on it.
He's 5 for 11 from 3-point range.
When he has some touch, it just takes some work. And the shots that I've seen from the free throw line, even in regular play, the ball spins. It's coming off the hand wrong. It spins sideways or around.
There's 7-footer in the Big East. You're going to go to the free throw line. That's a travel on Pryor, and the Georgetown turnover with under 2 minutes to go now. Give Creighton a chance to cut into the lead.
And these are those stretches of games that JT3 has tried to stress to his guys. Listen, a minute 52 to play going into half. Let's keep our momentum here. Let's not give Creighton any more confidence.
And Hayes going to get called for the push. That's his second. And that's a foul from 22 feet away that didn't have to be committed.
And it's one of those things that I talked to JT3 about before the game. You were right there saying, hey, you know, he says we've done better lately of not fouling. Well, you're up there with the lead in personal fouls on the season in the Big East. That it's the wrong time to foul, too, is what hurts you. You know, you called it 20 feet from the basket. Now you're sending them to the foul line, slows the game, stops the game, slows your momentum down, gives them a chance to score when the clock is stopped.
That's a good free throw shooter now, 13 for 16 on the year. There's the numbers from Saturday. And that, the first time a Creighton reserve under McDermott had a game of 17 points and 8 assists. Now, again, that game got a little crazy, 102-94, but
you caught a team at the wrong time, shooting it very, very well, but they're grading you on your individual play once you step in for a guy like Mo Watson Jr.
Hayes got the double his way. Too late on the ball reversal for Georgetown. Pryor. Oh, my goodness. Wow. That's a message right there. 15 points for Pryor. And that rim is still shaking. That was like a dunk contest dunk. Patton with the answer, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Tell you what, when he gathered, I'm thinking he's trying to get fouled. There's no way he is taking off from there. But the lack of defense in front of him, that is just powerful. And then Creighton staying with it, give it to your big. It's where he does his best work. Someone got to Patton, probably Coach McDermott, one of those timeouts, and said, listen, no face-up jump shots from 18 feet.
Still can't hit the free throw, though, and he's over on the line tonight. By the way, that foul on Hayes was his third coming before halftime. Georgetown losing a little of their depth inside to face the 7-footer. Peak. He willed that ball into the hoop, and he's got a chance at a three-point play with the foul call on Patton.
If anyone was wondering out there, 1-6 Georgetown, 10-10 overall, what Georgetown basketball was, what their identity was, and what they've been looking for, take a listen. Energy, they're aggressive, they're using their athletic ability and their strength. That, to me, is what defines a Georgetown team. Every team has the size and the strength that Georgetown does, but they find other ways to be successful. Georgetown's finding success in that tonight so far.
Well, hand-to-hand combat tonight as Hansen checks back in for Creighton. And a timeout, 41.5 seconds to go in the first half. It's been a tough one for Creighton on the road. Rodney Pryor has looked like, well, Rodney Pryor tonight.
Other than that first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, he's really gotten involved and been more aggressive and assertive at getting the ball from his teammates and taking his time. That's just a tremendous step back there. Can't do anything about that or that. And a couple of emphatic finishes. But those first 4 to 6 minutes, his teammates were kind of just sleepwalking a little bit. Derrickson hits a 3 to start. Now they think, hey, they go 1 for 7. They say, hey, timeout. Let's get back to what we need to do, and that's getting the ball to our stud.
Now he and Peak have 26 of Georgetown's 37 points. About a 10-second differential between game and shot clock right now, so the Hoyas will get it back again. Thomas, follow won't go. And the Hoyas, with the shot clock turned off, are going to hold for one.
I like that 1-3-1. The only thing you need to do when the shot goes up is clamp down on the weak side so you can get that defensive rebound when you're in that zone.
Clock under 10. Pryor caught in midair. Agal driving, and he got it right before the buzzer. The biggest lead for Georgetown in the first half comes at the buzzer, and they'll go to the locker room up by 12.
And how about patience? They don't want to go too soon. Here, Agal to the basket, finishing with the left, takes the bump. And that's how you go in with momentum at home.
Fewest first half points this season for the Creighton Bluejays as they continue to try to adjust to life without Mo Watson on the floor. 1 half down, 1 to go here in D.C. A lot of end-to-end action and a little bit of intrigue going on here. Hoyas trying for what would be a very big win against the number 16 team in the country. They've sent a message up by 12. Oh, he's not playing, but he's out there trying to get his teammates going as they get ready for the second half. And Mo Watson very much a part vocally of what's going on for the Blue Jays as they try to come back from this 12-point deficit. He's been working it over on the sideline all night long. Really commendable what he is trying to do for his teammates. Georgetown ended that first half on a 26-12 run and held Creighton to their lowest point total in the first half this season. Little cut from Derrickson on the pretty feed from Govan, who starts the second half.
Probably the first time I've seen JT3 run up the sideline with joy and not upset at guys, telling guys get back defensively, but body language is so much more positive from players to the coaches on the Georgetown bench.
That is a foul, and it's going to be on Pryor, and it's going to be from three-point range.
Cole Huff needs that. Only 3 points in this game. He's one of Creighton's guys who needs to pick up a part of the slack, especially the scoring. 13 points left out there from Mo Watson's injury for guys to get.
Well, it is Cole Huff, the senior, California. He'll shoot 3, a 90% free throw shooter. Last year against Seton Hall, 35 points. In the Big East tournament, 7 three-pointers in that game.
I mean, just take a look at JT3. When's the last time? Take a look. Top of your screen.
Everybody back.
It's probably 1988 the last time I've seen him move that fast.
I think that's when he graduated.
That is. Pretty good. You know your basketball a little bit, huh?
A little bit.
I thought you were just
Here.
nearby and decided to come do the game.
Well, when you're here, that's basically what I am. Deacon Pryor playing catch. That's an 18-footer. And the tip, Govan, the putback, he got it in the foul. That is the Jesse Govan that Georgetown is hoping they've got.
I mean, this is all you've wanted from your entire team. Biggs, you stop shooting so many jump shots and go show your muscles. The emotion is what I like most about what we're seeing tonight from Georgetown. Their energy, I'm a big body language guy. It tells me a lot about how guys feel, what they think about what's happening in front of them. And Georgetown's, this is the best body language I've seen them consistently for one game in a long, long time, Scott.
At alley-oop, a heck of a catch, and the lay-in won't go, but that is goaltending. Count the bucket for Marcus Foster.
Finally, some good offense off of the pass for Creighton. You get on the road, no matter who's on the floor, you have to try to beat the defense with your passing. It can't just be off the dribble individually.
Creighton undefeated away from Omaha this year. 5 games on the road and 3 in neutral court. They've won them all, but That's tough to beat. Once again, Rodney Pryor from way downtown. The lead is 14.
Yeah, too much airspace for him. Just a prolific scorer. You have to close out better, almost make him a dribbler.
That's Foster. That would have been big, but an offensive rebound. Those were few and far between in the first half of the Blue Jays. They only had 2 of them. And now Patton up and under. Pretty move again by the freshman.
Very efficient, and also the length helps him. When he stops, he's on one side of the basket, and he can reach under. Defense doesn't help on the weak side.
Yeah, ball game right now. One more, trying to shovel it down low, but there were too many bodies in the way. And Creighton with the turnover back the other way.
Yeah, just a bad pass, and another bad pass.
And Peak right there to pick it off. There's Pryor. Inadvertently shoveling it ahead to Govan. And the Georgetown lead is 14. And Foster had it knocked away by Derrickson. He wanted a foul call he didn't get. Peak got the foul. He'll go to the free throw line.
Only 8 assists in this game for Creighton. Too much one-on-one basketball. Again, they're still trying to figure it out. Life after Mo, and here, Georgetown knows, you know, we push the basketball, good things will happen, but who's going to stop the ball? 2 times down the floor, no one steps in. Fortunate that that didn't go in for Peak.
L.J. Peak's an 83% free throw shooter. McGowan will come into the ball game now for Georgetown as Govan will take a seat.
And these are good minutes for guys coming off the bench, moments you have to be in the moment for. And what I mean by that is there's a pace right now to what Georgetown is doing. You know, they're fluid. When you come off the bench, you better not stop that. You better go in and come in this game. I know B.J. Hayes in some foul trouble in the first half, but you still have to come in and pick up where that last guy left off with the energy.
And if you're Creighton right now, you've got to find an offensive rhythm. Foster never got the shoulder square. Big offensive rebound again, but Patton can't control it.
Just a bad shot, Scott. You're falling away off of 1 foot, but that's what Georgetown's size has done to Creighton most of the night.
Hayes has 2 men on him. McGowan trying to thread the needle and can't do it. Wow. Another giveaway, and Pete makes him pay. 16-point lead for Georgetown. That's Thomas in rhythm. Still won't go, and the Hoyas in complete control right now with just over 16 minutes left to play.
Here we go, Blue.
A lot of time left in this ball game, but right now this is all Georgetown. Peak squared up. And off the miss. Here's Thomas. Nothing there for Mintz. Foster dishing down low, and that's going to be another trip back to the free throw line for Justin Patton. A lot of physical play, a lot of emotion for the home team. And right now it is all going right for Georgetown, up by 16. In Marquette at home pulls the upset of #1 Villanova. Talk about a celebration going on for this Marquette team after their win at Creighton on Saturday. Off to this on Tuesday night at home, and it really has kind of changed a lot of things. Look at where Marquette has jumped to in terms of their RPI now at 39. Georgetown sitting at 89, and that 1-7 against the top 50 is hurting them. But here you go, an opportunity here tonight against this Creighton team. And another one coming at Butler on Saturday. So far, the Hoyas have been up to the task.
Yeah, Marquette has done a couple of things by just that one win. They've, well, the last 2, but they've turned around their season already. You saw their Nova shot 6 of 34 from 3 in that game. But the defense has picked up for Marquette. What Woj has been talking all season long. Not only that, around the Big East, when you talk big picture, Marquette has shown teams that are at the bottom. Listen, you win 2 or 3 games with, what, 9, 10 games to go in the season. That could change your season. I mean, and Georgetown is in one of those situations. I think that's why we've seen JT3 so animated on the sideline. He knows with 10 games left, footing tonight, we could open some eyes a little bit. And you know this in this conference, there are no guaranteed wins night to night. I don't care who it is.
That has been the bright spot on the offensive side for Creighton on what's been a frustrating night for them. And he finds the range from the free throw line. The lead 14. Georgetown, after the first 7 minutes, was shooting 25%. Since then, 83%. And a lot of those looks coming from inside. Pryor. Hayes on the putback. And he gets fouled. He'll go to the line.
You know, that's exactly what they wanted from BJ down low. And this is, look at that. Be careful, JT. You're going to pull something over there, man.
Bradley Hayes, another guy who struggles from the free throw line.
But this is what they want from Bradley. You know, you fight this hard to get a guy an extra year. You want him to be utilized the right way. Offensive rebounds. That was a big play right there. Pryor's few misses tonight. BJ Hayes right there to clean it up, or try at least.
1 out of 2 makes it a 15-point game. Once again, Creighton's got to find something offensively. Just out of sync.
Spacing not good. The guy's not sure where to be.
And once again, an errant pass, a cross-court pass. 8th turnover of the night for the Blue Jays.
Should be one place you're looking right now. That's down low. I mean, there should be a steady diet. Even if Patton doesn't score the ball, you force Georgetown now to turn their heads and look down low. Now you can back cut. Now you have some spacing, and Patton passes out to you. So many great things happen when you throw it inside to an effective big man.
Mulmore on the drive, high off the glass. 17-point game.
Mulmore's a special one. When you talk about the future of Georgetown, trying to learn that position from point guard is a tough spot.
There's Thomas knifing into the lane. And a hustle play by a Gal to tap it back. Don't be mistaken or fooled. This is a very good offensive team that Creighton has, and they just cannot get it going tonight.
You talked about it. They average 87 points a game. Scored 94 in a loss to Marquette.
Shooting 36% on the night. That backdoor cut, the bounce pass just a little bit too hard. And off the turnover, it goes back to Creighton. We start talking about what kind of an offensive team this is. They lead the league in points, field goal percentage, assists, assist to turnover ratio. 11th best in the nation in three-point shooting. I mean, this is a very, very good offensive team.
And most of that affected by Mo Watson Jr., but they still have great pieces that were around him to be able to get those numbers. Guys just have to figure out how to fit into their spots now that he's gone.
Clement into the ball game, can't get that one to go on the drive down the lane. Now Mosley the other way finds the trailer, and a Gal finishes.
Continuing to do a good job down low. Just guys in the right place at the right time for Georgetown.
That's a good pass back. But once again, Georgetown controlling the boards. No second looks for Creighton off the miss.
That's what JT3 said in one of the timeouts. Hold them to one shot. Control our defensive glass, and they have done that all night.
Now Georgetown completely in control. This is a different mode. Playing with a big lead in this ball game. Got to take care of the basketball.
Tough angle there on the backdoor cut. Zier doing a good job just sticking that hand out there when you see a cutter.
Inside, and maybe that trip to the free throw line for Toby Hegner. Going to get something started for Creighton.
Tell you, there aren't a lot of guys who spend as much time on the floor as Toby Hegner in the Big East. I mean, he is, if he's diving for loose balls, head fake here, hard foul, and he puts his body on the line. first game Maurice Watson Jr. was out, that Marquette game, Hegner turned that ankle.
He wasn't sure he was going to play tonight.
I just remember Maurice Watson saying, he's tough, he'll be okay. And sure enough, I saw Hegner on crutches, and then there you go. Tonight he's running up and down, putting his body out there again for his teammates.
Hegner, a 66% free throw shooter. 0 for 2.
And say what you want, Scott, and the coaches can say all they want. Creighton guys about no Watson Jr., you're getting out rebounded by 13. I know you remember, like I do, Mo Watson was a 5'10" guy. He wasn't a 7-footer that's going to take the glass. No excuse for that.
Not to mention the fact that Georgetown simply is not missing when they get an open look right now. 8 for 11 here in the second half. And there's an answer, and finally one from Cole Huff.
Now this is, I think what Creighton needs right now is drive, draw, kick. Patton's not in the game. Use your speed.
Another backdoor cut, and Huff called for the foul on Caleb Johnson.
And you see the effects of that Georgetown/Princeton offense that JT3 implemented so long ago here at Georgetown. He's now mixed it in with some pace. Guys running, pressing, doubling the ball. If it's not a true point guard out high, I mean, they've sped up the game, but on the offensive end, they've kept those principles. When you're overplayed, cut back door.
As somebody who graduated from the University of Pennsylvania, I saw 4 years of backdoor cuts and then some. That Princeton offense was built in a lot of ways on that. And
I was on a great team that went to 2 NBA finals with the New Jersey Nets. Back in the early 2000s, that's all we ran. You know, with Kerry Kittles, Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin, those type guys, great athletes, but you can implement it if you understand what it is.
Back the other way, Foster. He's just trying to get something going and missing on a quick 3. 20-point game with under 12 minutes to go. It's a tough one to come back from for Creighton right now, and they are running out of time. Still time left, though. Pryor finds the open man. That's a good extra pass, and Derrickson from way downtown. Big rebound for Patton, and he's fouled.
Terrific offense. Terrific offense, passing the basketball. Ball movement is so huge for Georgetown. Right now, they're pretty much getting anything they want. Unselfish. Agao inside. Georgetown up 20.
And not surprisingly, their head coach inside the huddle wants to make sure they don't give up anything easy to let Creighton get back.
Everybody right now, sprint back and get organized in transition. Like, don't just sprint back to your man. We're sprinting back, we're talking, we're getting organized. Everybody understand that? Understand it. Okay, next possession. I'll wait till the camera leaves. Understand what's going on. Okay. Show the picture. One shot for them. We got to lock in right now.
Well, a couple of things. It's not the camera, it's the microphone. Wait for the microphone to go off before you tell them exactly how you feel. But I love that he explains it. You know, get back and get organized. But a lot of players want to ask how. Well, you communicate. He said that next. Get back, point, talk. So important on defense. Communication.
With a 20-point lead right now, the best way for Creighton to get back in would be transition baskets. Because in the half court, they have kind of bogged down tonight. As you saw right there, the ball, though, off the foot of Mosley, and Creighton going to hang on to it.
Now, you and I are talking about it in the break. Say what you want about the assist. Mo Watson Jr. leading the country in assists at about 8.5 a game, and total assists as well. It's the pace that I think is most affected without that guy on the floor. Both ways, you know, they're not at breakneck speed, and they were at breakneck speed under control with him out there. Now guys are kind of jogging up, unsure who's supposed to be where, who am I looking for. It's a tough place to be in.
Greg McDermott said it to us before the game. He may not have been the best point guard in America, but he was the best point guard for us in America.
Agreed.
And he might have been the best point guard in America.
True point guard, absolutely. There's so many scoring point guards around. Lonzo Ball, an amazing point guard. I mean, he and Mo Watson Jr. to me were the best two at college level this year.
He got caught under the hoop. All the way back to the top again. And Govan filled the lane nicely, couldn't hit it. Scramble for the rebound. And out of the pack comes Kyrie Thomas. Here's your transition. And you're going to get a foul call. No, they're going to get a travel. Thomas travel with the basketball. The Jays just 2 fast break points tonight.
Kyrie Thomas, he just ran out of space. Govan doing a good job crashing. You know, you don't have to go on the other side. You got a guy who's 6'2". Go straight up, take him and put him in the basket with you. That's what my coaches used to tell me, put him in the basket.
Govan came up holding his shoulder. He'll take a seat now. That's a wide open look for Mosley from the corner. Once again, time getting short for Creighton now. Coming up on 10 minutes left to go. Got to start chopping his tree down. Oh, goodness. Wow. That is some kind of play from Justin Patton on an alley-oop that looked like it was going to get away.
How about the delivery, though? Throwing it high enough so the defense couldn't get to it?
I don't think anybody but Justin Patton could have gotten to it. There's a steal. Thomas in transition. Over a gap and a chance at a three-point play.
I mean, this just was a terrific play all around. The pass. Hoyas was a long player, too. Look at this. I mean, terrific pass, but a great job of avoiding the over-the-back to Patton to dunk. Kyrie Thomas, this is what he does really well, one-on-one, attack the big.
That was his first made field goal of the night. He misses the chance to cap off the three-point play, but back down to 16 now with 9.5 to go.
Kyrie Thomas is a 12-point-a-game guy, too. You can't have those blanks when you're down a guy. Got to play your game and a little more.
Peak, driving, and the sea parted for him on the right side of the lane.
Keeping the dribble alive, so important.
Big man inside again, and Patton couldn't get it to fall and couldn't come down with a rebound. Inside, a Gal. Goodness. Are you allowed to pull the rim down so you can actually make the shot?
Not technically.
Well, technically, that's what happened. Foster got it. And a quick timeout call for by Creighton. Greg McDermott knows this is a very, very big part of the game right now. If you're going to get back, you got to get some momentum. I'm bringing the rim down to let the ball go in. I'm a smart man. Okay, morning. Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topic. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays from 9:30 a.m. to noon Eastern, only on FS1. Big deficit for Creighton to try to come back from down 18 with 8:43 left to go. And part of the reason that they're in the spot they're in right now is that I told you about what kind of offensive team this is. Look at the difference in terms of the numbers of field goal percentage and just 1 for 13 from three-point range.
Plus the glass, 39-25 advantage Hoyas. Now those are those extra effort plays that they're hard to teach. You can yell at your players, but they're hard to teach. You just have to have guys who want to go out and get it. I still think Creighton is in one of them. They're in search mode, trying to figure out what their identity is, because we know they score points, they get up and down, they got a great big man in Pat, but who will be the guy to grab them and say, let's start playing? And that's the voice you miss. Not only the speed of Watson Jr., but the voice.
Pryor's been quiet here in the second half. A drive from three-point range and a rebound, then Creighton wants to run in transition. Foster finding the open man. Clement got in some trouble. Now Now they feed the big man again with 2 men on him. How about that up and under? Nope, they say travel.
And no argument from Greg McDermott.
I don't know.
No, it looked like the ball was knocked out of his hand and he just stepped through. I think he probably could have dribbled it again, actually.
Because he got knocked away?
Because it got hit out of his hand. Yeah, it didn't look like he just dropped the ball and then decided to step through.
10th turnover of the night for the Blue Jays. And you know, you've still got 8 minutes to go, but when you're down 18, you can't waste a possession right now. You got to figure out a way to get it into single digits.
This is where you miss your pace setter. This is where you miss the speed demon to get you going and to get into your stuff. Georgetown now, they just have to work the clock.
And move the basketball and not do that. Thomas, big steal, and a slam dunk. Makes it a 16-point game. Nearly another takeaway.
That's where Jesse Govan has to just hold it. If a double comes, find the guy closest. Those skip passes, especially the passes to the top, anytime you throw it towards the other team's basket, not a good thing when it's a jump ball or a 50-50 ball.
Interesting zone look from Creighton here. Govan down low, got it stripped away. Huff had a hand on the ball. It'll stay Georgetown's way. With 4 seconds left on the timer. If Creighton wants to come back, they've got to get started soon. 22 left to go here in D.C. tonight as Georgetown looks for the upset. Be there to witness the race that defines legends. Daytona 500 this February 26th. Tickets on sale now at Daytona500.com. Last night was not a good night for the top 10. First time 3 out of the top 4 lost since January of 2012. So is this the time now for Gonzaga finally at 20-0?
America's sweetheart. they really are. And maybe finally people who don't watch Gonzaga will stop calling them Gonzaga and call them what they're supposed to be called, Gonzaga.
That's a real thing with you.
I grew up in Washington State.
I know.
That bugs me. You know who you're talking about. It's not Nevada.
Nevada.
We call them the Zags. They're trying to help you. Gonzaga. All right, I got that off.
You're preaching to the choir right here, but check that. Pryor can't get that shot to go, and once again, Creighton light on time. Maybe a couple of back-to-back buckets and some stops. That's going to be a push on Pryor down low.
Oh, one thing that I think a lot of us are learning, and one thing for sure I've learned is Marcus Foster is going to have to figure out that he could be a pretty good 1-2 punch with Justin Patton. You know, I know he likes to score, Foster, but you got to get your big man involved and keep him happy, because as Patton goes, I believe this team goes from here on out.
Well, that's your point made for you right there.
It really is. I mean, it comes down to the player just saying, okay, I know I'm a great scorer. The game will be easier for Foster if he allows Patton to be himself. Take some pressure off of Foster on the perimeter. Allow Patton to do the work down low.
Patton's got 25 shy of his career high here in his freshman season. Pryor playing with 4 fouls. The late dish and a foul call. And sent Govan to the free throw line.
I think Pryor thought about it. The drive, and then Patton stepped up. Even though there was a foul call with Patton earlier in the game, I think he saw Patton there and said, I might want to dish this one off from this angle.
Probably also didn't want to take the risk of a potential offensive foul.
Puts on the brakes.
Yeah. And Patton wasn't jumping with him. Patton was trying to draw the charge.
That's right.
Govan now 15 points on the night. Along with 6 boards. Sophomore from Queens Village, New York. All kinds of talent. Soft hands, can pass the ball.
He's got a little bit of range, just enough to keep him from being or thinking he's a three-point shooter, which I like my bigs down low. You know, bigs can shoot, I get it. that European influence we see in the NBA, but I think a lot of these young big guys in college, they watch a little too much NBA and think, hey, I'm same size as him at 6'11". I should be able to shoot threes.
I think Georgetown would like to see him mix it up a little bit more down low.
I agree.
Right now he's out in front of the trap. Here's Mintz trying to draw contact. Doesn't get the call, and the foul call is going the other way.
Justin Patton just a little bit too anxious over the back, but those are plays there as well. You know, Davion Mintz Patton should pull him inside and say, look, we're both freshmen. Let's do something special together. That's a nice little floater alley-oop to your big guy there on that play.
That's the third on Patton, and with under 6 minutes to go, Georgetown, which has been basically sitting on a double-digit lead for more than 21 minutes now, or close to 21 minutes. They've led for 21, and it's been a double-digit lead since halftime. Creighton has never really challenged, and you're not surprised when you see the number 48 for a team that averages 87 points per game. A little too strong with that pass right over the fingertips of Govan. It's going back the other way.
On another pass, you called one out earlier in the first half. They're just throwing the ball anywhere to Govan, and I mean it. They're throwing it. They're not passing it to him. There's a difference. You know, put your big in a good spot. Pass the ball to an area. He can help them by giving them a target, but they're just throwing the ball inside.
13 turnovers for the Hoyas. They average 14 per game. And Mintz trying to throw it back behind to the big man, but a hand in the passing lane. And another turnover for Creighton.
Love deflections. I think it should be an official stat on our box sheets because it just changes so much in a game. That possession right there created a turnover off of a Govan deflection.
Our coaches and coaching staffs that keep track of it in terms of what their players do, no doubt.
Yeah.
Shot clock down to 3. Derrickson's got to let it fly. It does. His second made 3 of the game. And here's a dagger shot with under 5 minutes to go. Once again, the three-pointer won't fall. Patton, good position, but can't handle the rebound. And it's Georgetown's ball game right now. Up 18, coming up on 4.5 left.
Time is on your side. Milk it. Try to get that clock down. Under 12 or so, and then you go to work.
Last time they took 28 seconds before getting the 3 from Marcus Derrickson. Shot clock down to 3 again. It's Derrickson again, fading away. Got it on the rim right in front of his coach to avoid the shot clock violation. Hesitation dribble from Foster, and that's a clean strip over the end line, and at last touch Foster. Nothing going right for Creighton here in D.C. tonight. A timeout call with 4:04 left to go. Hoyas trying to put a bow on what's been a very difficult night for the number 16 team. Down Hoyas against the number 16 team of the country. They've held Creighton to 1 for 14 from three-point range. 19 assists on 27 field goals. It was L.J. Peak and Rodney Pryor in the first half, helping to set the bar for Georgetown. The second half, they've got some really good play out of Jesse Govan.
He was the one guy that John Thompson II, Pops as I like to call him, talked to me about before the game. He said, that big dude needs to do some better work down low. I think Pops would be happy. Not just because he's scoring, but because of the effort, the second chance opportunities he's given his team. That's a complete game, 15.6 rebounds, and he's showing emotion. That's all you want from your kids, to understand if they're having a good time playing. If you play like this, you have a good time.
And a lot of time on the floor, too, with Bradley Hayes dealing with foul trouble in the first half.
And let's remember, they're doing it against the team that has 2 losses.
2 all year. Right now, about to be back-to-back losses.
I think it's something to keep into perspective. In perspective for Creighton fans and people watching, they only have 2 losses. Now, this is by no means without Mo Watson Jr. at the end of their season.
Woo. How about that for 1,000 career points for LJP?
Wow.
Jerry on top of the Sunday.
tell you, 1,000 points is awesome. By the way, my 1,000th point was scored against Georgetown.
Was it?
It was. I mean, it had a lot of games after that since then, but that's what you remember when you're in college. So special to get to that 1,000-point plateau. So congratulations, Mr. Peak.
Mr. Peak is also in that category of scorer, but he's done a lot of things as well this year in terms of distributing the ball, going and grabbing a rebound when necessary. Georgetown looking for something to build on. John Thompson III told us before the game he used the word opportunity so many times this week. And not just about this game, but about what they've got in front of them the rest of the way. All right, now it's going to be 1 for 1. '46th player in Georgetown history with 1,000 career points. And if you're going to do it in style.
Well, a big bucket, shot clock running down from 3, deep one. Good company here at Georgetown.
Now Creighton goes back home and takes on DePaul on Saturday. So you're coming off a loss at home in really a wild game with a lot of emotion to Marquette. You come here where you've not won yet in the Big East, and things do not go your way offensively all night long. Where are the Blue Jays mentally going into that game on Saturday?
Yeah,
Time to get things right? Is that the kind of feel you got?
I mean, you're back home, you got your crowd. One of the top 3 or 4 best buildings in all of America, so it's nice to get back home, even though we know 2 of their losses this season came at home. But you have to kind of look inward. You can't say, okay, who are we playing? We're going to get that one. I don't believe this league is set up like that anymore. I don't think you can look down the calendar and say, oh, we're going to win this one, we're going to win this one. This league is so tough right now. The way these teams are playing, and especially with Marquette and then Georgetown, a big win tonight. They can hold on here, 2.5 minutes to go, which I think is pretty safe.
Colby Paris now in the ball game for Creighton. Right there at the front of the defense. Freshman from the Philippines. And he gets a rebound. About as big a social media star as there is, not just in the Philippines, but anywhere. Crashing the board, he almost came up with an offensive rebound. He once dunked over LeBron James.
Was LeBron James ready for it?
I don't think so necessarily, but don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. His dad was a 2-time MVP in the Philippine Basketball Association, is now a soap opera star. Paris is embracing his celebrity. And there's Peak. Minute 30 left to go. And along the inside, that one will roll in for Crumble.
Good lead by Clement, pushing the basketball. And this is an interesting time, not just for Creighton, but the teams they're going to play against. Teams are now having to prepare for Creighton. It's life after Watson Jr.
Paris going to get called for the hold with 1:07 left to go. Georgetown Hoyas had lost 16 straight conference games. The teams other than DePaul and St. John's. Creighton, the team they beat last almost exactly a year ago. They are going to walk out of this building with a win tonight. Pop's got to be happy about that. Although no coach is ever really happy.
He's yelling at one of the players right there. Rodney Pryor as he went down to get a drink.
Oh, all right. No, so maybe sometimes a coach is happy. Have a chance to spend some time with him doing radio NCAA tournament games. Love working with Big John.
75 years young, he told me before the game.
Clement can't get it to go from 3. And again, that's nothing new tonight for Creighton. They had a foul call on the rebound. 1 for 16 from 3-point range for the Blue Jays. We talked about opportunity for the Hoyas, and John Thompson III said not just this game. Now you go to number 11 Butler, obviously tough to win at Hinkle. DePaul, Seton Hall, and a game at Villanova. Marquette has kind of tipped the balance. It's not an easy road by any stretch, but this is a good start.
And they're all different games. I mean, you can't just go in and say, if we play this way, we'll win all those games. But Butler, you got to take care of the basketball. You got to be able to play an ugly game. Butler will try to beat you up. Play against DePaul. They're still searching for an identity. You don't know what you're going to get. Seton Hall tough, so that's the beauty of this conference. You get so much variety every single night.
Georgetown faithful who were out here looking for something tonight got exactly what they were looking for. Gritty, tough defensive effort. More than enough offense. Johnson's got to let it go. The shot clock winding down. Morning got a rebound but couldn't hang on to it. Just 10.7 left to go. There's DePaul and at Butler, home for Xavier, and at DePaul twice in the next 4 games. Creighton again. In the mode right now and trying to figure out what the rest of this year is going to look like after a beautiful start. 20-point victory for the Georgetown Hoyas as they win their 11th of the year and knock off the number 16 team in the country. Things continue to change in terms of balance of power in the Big East here in a very interesting week here late in January.
Georgetown's energy, their body language, their aggressiveness, I believe is what won this game. They started off very slow, but they stayed with it. They got the win defensively first. That created some great offense for them, and that was a quote-unquote Georgetown played game.
71-51, the final score, with the Hoyas on top. We'll come back to D.C. and take one final look at this one when we come back.